This is Flyover Film Country.
All right. All right. It's a Walker and Olivia special today. So just us.
Everyone's favorite type of episode, I think, to be honest.
It's my favorite type of episode personally. Like I just think it's just stellar. So
I feel like we're getting all the fun movies too, like Just Us. Like we talked about Silence of the Lambs. We're talking about Ready or Not 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might even be talking about the drama next weekend. Just next week.
Yeah, it might just be us next week. Next week for the drama. So we'll see what happens. I guess I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the drama. But today we're talking about Ready or Not 2. Here I come. I'm really looking forward to discussing this movie with you. So should we just dive right in?
Yeah, I would love to hear because I texted our group, so I had an interesting viewing experience for this movie, but I would love to hear about yours first, Olivia.
Okay, actually, I didn't have quite as interesting of a viewing experience as you did, but it was like I saw it Sunday at like 7:30, and also weird to see this movie on Palm Sunday. I watched the first one and then I watched this one. And seeing this movie on Palm Sunday with the amount of times both of these movies say the phrase "Hail Satan,"
yeah.
At one point I was like, I feel weird about this. This is odd. I'm gonna repent, I think, after this. Anyway, so I bought a ticket by myself, and there were two seats. There was like a empty seat on either side of me, and then to my left there were two people who had bought those two seats. It was like a couple, I think, and the guy who was an older and larger gentleman, his seat didn't have, like, the reclining wasn't working.
Oh no.
The power recline wasn't working, and so I guess he decided to sit in the seat. I say I guess. He did in fact decide to sit in the seat next to me. And it's like all of a sudden the arm moves and I'm like, oh, this is now tighter. I don't love this. And his wife sits in his seat. And I'm like, why didn't you guys just switch seats there? Why did you scoot over? If that's not big a deal to her and hers was working, why didn't you just... Anyway, so that's how we sat for the first... like all through previews and for about the first third of the movie. And then he gets up, goes to the bathroom or something. I don't know where he goes, but he's gone for a little while. And then he comes back and sits in the original, like in the seat his wife was sitting in originally. So I'm just like, why didn't you guys do this to begin with? Why did we have to sit so close to each other? Right. And then have to worry about like sharing the armrest?
Yeah.
What are we doing here, buddy? Anyway, it was weird, and like he kept talking, and we'll talk about the scene I'm sure later, but the scene where they're like fighting in the like ballroom where the wedding reception was at, and turn around or wait, was that I don't remember the name of that movie, but or song that's playing, and he starts singing "Turn Around," and I'm just like, dude, what? What? And then a few seats down to my right, there's these two women, and they're also talking, and I'm just like, what is happening? And it wasn't a lot, but it was like loud enough for me to like be aware of it and really take me out of this movie, which was really annoying because I actually had a good time watching this movie.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so funny. I had a similar experience with. I texted you guys about, so there was a group of people that came in right as the Searchlight Pictures logo is coming up. So right as the movie's starting, a big group of people all comes in at once. I noticed there's like two kids. Like one of them was a little girl who was probably 8 years old, I think.
Too young? Too
young to be seeing this movie for sure. And they like walk to one side and they're like looking, and then they walk to the other side, like closer to me, because I'm sitting. This is one of the smaller theaters at Conway, so I'm sitting in the very back, and I've got this woman and her daughter sitting a chair apart from me, and I'm watching these people, and they walk around. They're kind of looking for seats, and then they all sit in different rows. They all came in together, but they all sit in different rows. And the grandma sits
weird.
behind all of them by herself, in a row by herself. So
what?
Super weird. And then in the last, the final act of the movie, the grandma's phone starts ringing, and her ringtone, it literally sounded like something like this. It was like, ding, ding, ding. This is your granddaughter calling you. Like something like that. And she just answers it. She just takes the call in the middle of the movie.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like one of those things where I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I have to say something? Like, do I have to lean up and be like, hey, lady, get off your phone, please? And thankfully, she didn't talk that long, and she kind of was whispering, but not that it matters. You're taking a phone call in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
But I also had a talker in my theater. There was two people sitting in front of me, a man and a woman, and the guy just like would not stop talking, and like, so I don't know if you saw it, but there was a new trailer for that movie Obsession that's coming out.
I don't know if I saw that one. Maybe I did. Keep talking.
So there's a trailer about a couple months ago, Savannah and I saw, that was really short and really simple for this movie, and didn't really let you know a lot about it. And this was, one that was longer and let you know more about it. It's basically seems to be about a guy who really likes this girl.
Yeah.
And then he wishes on the back of that candy wrapper that she'll love him, and she becomes like too in love with him. So that trailer ends, and this guy says out loud, very loud, he goes, "Every girl in this generation." And the woman beside him dies laughing. Just dies laughing.
So they're both the worst.
Yes. And I'm sitting there, I was like, I don't even really get the joke. Like, every woman in this generation is upset. Like, I'm trying to figure out the joke at the same time. Like, and I'm also annoyed that he's talking. And he continued to do that in the movie too. Like, there's a scene, I'm sure we'll talk more about it, but there's a scene with a lot of blood, and he says very, very loudly, because he knew he wanted everyone to hear this one because it was so good. When all this blood shoots up, he goes, "Chunky."
Ugh.
And of course the girl next to him starts laughing and like hits him and is like, "Devin," or something. I don't know. But I was very annoyed by them.
Freaking
and they were
Devin.
pissing me off. Yeah.
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 So, okay, here's my, one, you should not talk in a movie theater, period. If you're going to do that, it needs to be a bad movie. Like objectively a bad movie. This is not an objectively bad movie to do that. It's not a bad, even if you didn't like it, it's not bad enough to warrant that.
Yes.
There's only been one time I've been to the theater to watch a movie where that felt permissible.
Yeah.
And it was this movie, I don't know if you've seen it or maybe you've heard of it. It's called Gretel and Hansel. It came out in it was actually,
I remember that,
one of the last movies I saw before the pandemic. And Osgood Perkins directed it, and it had Sophia Lillis in it, and it was not good. I mean, It was not a good movie. Everyone in the theater was like kind of making fun of it and joking and talking, and like that was actually a fun experience because we all were like, "This is bad," right? Everyone was like, "This is a bad movie." But that's the only time where I've been like, "Yeah, this was okay for everyone to talk."
Right. I appreciate in a horror movie when someone's being really stupid, or like, something very creepy is happening. I appreciate an "oh hell no" or something every once in a while.
We'll
take that.
I'll take that.
Not a chunky or anything else like that. When we went and saw Barbarian, it was one of the more lively like viewing experiences that I've had at theater. Like everyone was super into it. We had a couple, there's a lot of moments you want to say, oh hell no, in that movie. We had a couple stuff like that. And Savannah and I were sitting beside these two teenage boys, and I could tell that they had just never, I think this was kind of their first time going to the movies and being like in this really kind of like lively, like everyone's laughing and gasping and like together. And like they were like kind of building up. And then there's one point where a character like holds a flashlight like a gun or something. And I remember one of them said like, "That's not a gun, bro." And it was just dead silence. And
Didn't work.
They were quiet the rest of the movie after that.
Good. And they were humbled in that moment, and they needed that.
They needed that.
Yeah, man, I don't know why people were talking in this movie. It wasn't. There were some moments where it was like, like a oh hell no would have been good, but just chit chatting. Come on.
I propose my theory. I think it's because this is kind of a millennial movie, and that's kind of like a millennial thing to do.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, and I like millennials like getting together and watching a movie and making fun of it as they're watching it.
Sure. In the comfort of your own home, though.
Right. Well, there's always people. There's always extremists,
You're right. There are, and they ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So I will say the people who were doing this in my theater were definitely not millennials. They were They were at least Gen Xers.
Oh, okay. Well, so I had a Gen Xer and a millennial. So
I'm so sorry. we should be better, just as a whole, every generation. So, yeah. Man, what weird viewing experiences we had with this film.
I know, yeah, it's crazy we both had it. So, you said you watched the first one on Sunday, too. Had you seen it before?
No, I hadn't seen it before. I was like, I gotta watch this first one before I watch this new one, which Isaac had told me a long time ago. He was like, I think you would like it. You should definitely watch it. And I just had never gotten around to it. And Isaac was really high on it. And I enjoyed it. I don't know if I liked it as much as Isaac, but I really did enjoy the first one, and so it did get me excited to watch the second one. And so that was the first time I had ever watched it. So I did a double feature, and I had a great time. So what about you? How many times have you seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen the first one only once. Savannah and I watched it a few years ago, and we had a really good time with it. We thought it was really fun. We both enjoyed it. So yeah, I was excited to watch this one. A little nervous only in the way I am for almost every sequel, where it's just not really sure where they're going to take it, if they can top, the first one. But yeah, I was excited, and I guess let's get into how we feel about this movie, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pull a Walter and do a transition.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't have the sound up. Let me do it again.
Oh, whoa.
I did it. Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, right off the bat, like, what was your initial reaction to this movie after you had seen it?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not super high on it. I think there's some things that they did that I really like, and there's some stuff about it that I just think it falls into like the problems that like making a sequel to a movie like Ready or Not fall into. And so overall, like, it was fun. I had a good time. I'm glad I went and watched it at the movies. I don't know when I'll watch this one again. Like, I'm much more likely to watch the first one again than this one. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I agree with you. I think I'm with you there. There were some issues I had with it, but overall I had a good time, and I do think like if you liked the first one, go see the second one. I do think the first one is just a little bit better, and we'll get into like the reasons for that. But I also think I liked the cast for this movie. There's a little more name recognition with this cast
for sure
than there was in the first one. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't even know that David Cronenberg was going to be in this movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so like seeing him so early on shocked me so much. And
yeah.
But no, it's a great cast. I think that is definitely a strength of this movie. It's a great cast. I can't think of anyone that just I was like, oh, that they're giving this is a bad performance by them either. So I think the cast was good. The setting was interesting, like doing it at this family's golf course and in more like kind of in New York, but I do feel like they didn't really capitalize on that well, which was a bummer in some parts.
Yeah. I feel like everyone gave a really good performance. I think I really love seeing Elijah Wood play the like just weird characters. And while this character wasn't necessarily weird, he definitely has to be unhinged. Like his character has to be crazy to participate in the way that his character participated in everything. So but yeah, I think Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton had really good chemistry as estranged sisters who hadn't talked in I think 7 years and were pulled into this really insane situation. I think Sean Hadosy? Is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure.
Who plays Titus and Sarah Michelle Gellar's brother. She plays Ursula. They play twins, and I think they had a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, as a millennial, I grew up with the live action Scooby Doo's, and so she plays Daphne. But I also very millennial of me. Although I think this is older millennial. I don't think that many people my age have really watched the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. But I watched that. I actually watched that in college, and she's great. I mean, I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. So anyway.
Yeah, and Sean Hadosy, however you say his name, is having his moment right now on the Pit as Dr. Abbott, and everyone is the thirst traps are abound with Dr. Abbott right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of. I've never seen him in anything that I could remember before the Pit, and now I also didn't know he was going to be in this movie because I don't even think I saw a trailer for this before watching it.
Let's see. Let's look. He was in Animal Kingdom, which was on, I think, TNT, which I think was a actually pretty popular show. He was in a couple episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. He was in Southland, which is another show that I believe was on TNT. So it looks. Oh, he was in an episode of Criminal Minds. Which episode?
Man, I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I love more than just an absolute bonkers Criminal Minds episode that like they just can't be beat. Some of them, they're just so out there and they're so fun.
I love I went through a Criminal Minds phase in high school and throughout most of college, and so up until I had watched every episode up until I think probably about 2017.
Yeah.
And so often I'm like, where do I know this person from? And almost without fail, I will come across their IMDb and be like, Criminal Minds, should have known.
That I'm like that. I don't know why. Like I went through a phase when I first started working from home. I would watch an episode of SVU on my lunch break every day. So I'm like that with like. I watched like season 1 through 8 of SVU, and like every actor ever has been on an episode of that show, and so I have so many of them locked away. I'm like, this person looks so vaguely familiar to me, and it's like, oh yeah, they played some side character for 5 minutes in an episode of SVU in season 2. That's where I know him.
Yeah. That person was an unsub in Criminal Minds. That person was a victim. That person played a dirty cop that kind of stuff. So yeah, I know I do that all the time too, and it's so funny seeing those actors who end up being in a lot of
Yeah.
stuff afterwards. So, but yeah, good for him for his moment right now, the pit and with Ready or Not, Here I Come, and plays like truly a psychopath.
Yeah. I mean,
Like just an insane character. So he would meet the criteria, I believe, for antisocial personality disorder. So
I think so.
really lacking empathy, doesn't really care about anyone else, is really only focused on his own wants and desires. But yeah, he's kind of a terrible, not kind of, he is for sure. They're all terrible. That's
Right.
the thing about this
Yeah.
right. All of these people are terrible. So let's, we all, it seems like we both really liked the cast, and I do think that was one of the strong aspects of this movie.
Yeah.
Tell me what were some of you said that the setting, they didn't utilize it as well as they maybe could have. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I think of the first movie, there are like specific scenes that really stick out in my mind. Like, I mean, everyone who watches the first Ready or Not remembers the scene in the barn. Like, and I haven't seen this movie in 3 or 4 years, and like when I think of the movie, that's the first scene I think of.
Yeah.
And I think with this movie, I don't think there's a scene like that just sticks out to me so much. I guess what they were trying to do was the scene in the ballroom is supposed to be that, but I just don't think it really ever reaches the highs of that. And I think that, if you're going to do a second movie with a movie like this, I think you have to do it like John Wick, where they're like, if we're making another one of these, it has to just be infinitely more over the top than the last one.
Yeah.
And John Wick has been super successful with it, because if you go back and watch that first John Wick movie, you're like, oh, this really is not like the other. Like, there's a lot of action and it's cool, but it is not like the rest of them, because the rest of them are trying to just keep topping each other, and they do a great job of it because they have the setting is always awesome, and they have these awesome set pieces and figure out unique ways to do things. And this, I just didn't feel like there was ever, besides the very ending, I think, was the really one time where I was like, okay, now we're hitting it, but we should have been doing this the whole movie. And we're on a golf course, and I didn't see anyone get their head smoked by a golf club. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
There's not a single golf club in that whole place. What are we doing?
No one used a golf club as a weapon on a movie at a golf course about killing people.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I also think what worked really well in the first one is how contained it was. Everything was within the house, and there were always these secret passages and or on the property. The barn obviously is different from the house, but still on the property, and it felt really contained, and I think that worked really well. I think that sometimes when it's contained like that, it doesn't always hit, but it did really well, I think, for the first one. For this one, because it was so open, right? There were so many places, and it's and you kept seeing, I did appreciate that they kept referencing the map, that every time she was looking at a map to figure out okay, where do I need to be, and how do I get out of this situation, to highlight how big of a space. And so it seems like they were going the opposite direction of this really openness, and I think it worked against them, because it was I don't know where we're at, whereas in the first one it was I know exactly where we're at on in regards to the scene.
Yeah, and I think if they want it, I understand the want to do that. You're making the second movie, you want it to be bigger and crazier. Then you have to then use all the different space that's there, for interesting fights and interactions. And we did have the scene in the laundry room was
yes, I was about to bring that up. That was crazy.
Yeah. So, but it's we needed more of that, where it's you're in a hotel and you're at a country club. There are a lot of different areas that could have been utilized for, interesting fights and interesting scenes. And like we kept going, like we went back to that ballroom 2 or 3 times for really there's no story reason they kept going back there. They would just end up back there. And it's like, why are we not somewhere else? Like, why is this not happening in a different room and with different cool stuff? Like, that's what we want to see. And so, I think it could have worked in their favor by utilizing all the different areas that would be in a hotel that big and in a resort that big. But, we're out fighting by the front gate. Who cares about that? What's fun about that?
Right. And it's a little different from the first one where you see her get through the front gate and try to flag someone down, and the guy is like get out of the road, you crazy bitch. And she's like, rich people they're so terrible, and so you don't even see them doing like that, where it's like, we're gonna escape, until they run into the twins, and the twins are trying to stop them. And Catherine Newton's character, whose name is Faith. Also, side note, I love that at one point when they discovered, it's Grace and Faith.
Yeah.
Titus is like freaking Irish Catholics, and it's like it made me laugh. I was like, oh, let's insult Irish Catholics. So
just
funny.
Out of nowhere, totally random, has nothing to do with the plot of the
unprovoked
movie or anything.
Yeah, like unprovoked, no reason, just takes that little shot at him, and it was funny. It was really funny. What makes this funnier to me is they're not Irish Catholic, but I am friends with a set of twins whose names are Grace and Faith. So they're not Irish Catholic, but I do think it's really funny that there's a shot at them because of their names.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to the setting though, it seems like the only big scenes we got were the initial golf course scene where they're just dropped in the middle of one of the holes, and then they're also in the ballroom so much, a random hallway, and the laundry room. Right. And that feels kind of like that's it. For as big of that space is, it feels really contained, but not in a way that works.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But what do you think of the fight scenes? There were a lot of fight scenes with this movie, and so what did you think of them?
Yeah, I thought some were fun. I mean, like the laundromat, the one in the laundry room I thought was fun. As the only complaint is like the characters in this movie have the most insane plot armor that there is.
Yeah.
At different points, like it just it gets a little ridiculous at times, but that's part of the movie. These movies, I think. But yeah, I think again, there were some fun ones. That one's fun. The ballroom scene, I don't know. I almost wish it was a different song than Turn Around. And that there would have been a little, like it was funny in the beginning when they both pepper spray each other, and like you cut back from the really intense scene in the hallway with Faith getting the crap beat out of her by Titus, and then you cut back and her sister and this girl are just like swinging at air. Like that was funny that first time, and then it was like 2 more minutes of them. Jumping through the cake and like smashing a table and like stuff before they finally like actually start fighting again. And so for me, it just slowed that scene down a lot, and it felt like it didn't hit as hard as it should have and as it could have. And then what else? I did really like at least the ending to the kind of the first scene in the hotel with the woman with the katana. I really liked that and thought it was smart to for her to take the take her hand and make her stab the other guy. But that kind of leads into a problem I have with this movie.
Tell me.
And it's over reliance on people exploding into mist. Like that was such a, in the first movie it was such like a shocking like crazy thing, and then in this movie it happens
A
5,
lot.
6, 7 times,
Yeah.
like just constantly.
Yeah. So, okay, here's one of my issues with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise we're not going to just complain about everything the whole
Yeah.
time. Like there are things I did really enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Including some of the fight scenes. In the first one, the whole thing is like they are this game that this really
Yeah.
wealthy family that made their wealth by board games.
Yeah.
And Grace finds out that her now husband his family made all of this wealth from making basically a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And they have to do this thing in order to continue to exist. And if they don't do it, then they will die. And none of them, the in-laws are all like, I don't know, but everyone in the family, for the most part, except for Grace's husband, is like, it's real. We have to do this.
Yeah.
And so in this one, also with the first one, it's like we have to play the game exactly like based on the rules, and we have to like use weapons from that time, right? And that's kind of a debate within a couple of the family members of like whether or not that's real, or they didn't have these things, so like can we use this to our advantage now, right? And in this one, first of all, this is not how you play hide and seek. You do not drug the person who's hiding and then drop them in the middle of open area and let them, let the seekers find them that way. That's just like... And so I just feel like, I don't even remember what the name of the big bad is. The devil,
Mr. LeBeo or something?
LeBea.
Yeah, LeBea.
Mr. LeBea. I don't think Mr. LeBea would be okay with them breaking the rules like that. That's not how you play the game of hide and seek.
Yeah.
And so that's like such a small, but also feels like a really big, I don't know, continuity. It's not a continuity error, but it just like plot hole. Yeah,
it is a plot hole, I think, because we see people break the rules, and what happens when you do.
Right.
We see 3 people in the movie explode into blood because the rules are broken in different ways.
Yeah.
And they disadvantage her, by also chaining her, like handcuffing her sister to her, who's not even a part of this at first. And so it definitely feels like, I guess the devil is very strict about some rules and not as strict about other ones, and they know which ones to break. The devil is not in
all of the details.
Right, exactly.
Just some of them. Well, so, yeah.
And that's another thing I wanted to say, too, about this one, that in the first movie, again, like I'm willing to suspend my disbelief as much as I need to, but in the first one, it makes sense that like she does have a chance against these people because they're not trained killers. They're just these people who like have to do this thing.
Right.
And like they're not like warriors. They work at a board game company is like how they made their wealth. But in this movie, it is made very clear that that at least several of these people have been trained for a long time to kill people. And our characters are somehow, beating them, all of them.
Right.
Consistently.
And least we not forget, this sequel takes place within 24 hours of what happens in all of the first one. Yeah. And so, and here's the deal. Are we overanalyzing a little bit? Probably, yeah, I think so. Because does it matter? No, it really doesn't. But I think like, it's like, so she just survived this literal night from hell. Yeah. And is in the hospital, is being questioned for basically the murder of the whole family, but specifically the 2 bodies that were found which were Adam Brody's character, and then Andy McDowell's character.
Yeah.
And so because they didn't explode, they died before that happened, and so she's being questioned by a detective about it, and then all of this happens almost immediately after that, right?
Yeah.
And so it is like there couldn't have been like a week between like
Yeah.
I let her recover just a little bit.
Right.
But yes, yeah, and you know, the cousin of the twins, his name's Kip. Which I didn't realize his name was Kip until I read it just now on IMDb. Kip
funny.
talks about his cousins, and he's like, "Oh yeah, their dad trained them. My uncle trained them from the time they were little for this exact reason." Because, and here's the reason why I guess we should probably mention this too. Like, spoiler alert, by the way. The whole reason they're doing all these different family members are doing this is so that they can have the high seat at this council. Yeah. And basically have control and all the power of the world. You see at the beginning when you see David Cronenberg's character, who is the head of the council, you see him make a phone call as he's watching the news and says, "All right, go ahead and approve the ceasefire." And then it's like breaking news, ceasefire has happened, and it's like, oh, okay, so it's like implying that, hey, these people control everything. So, which is, I mean, probably not too far off that there's a secret society of horribly rich people who control everything.
Who also just happen to be devil worshippers too. Not related at all.
Yeah, that's the Illuminati though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. What did work for you in this movie? What did you like about it?
So one thing I love, I'm so glad that they let our girl Samara look good towards the end of this movie finally. Like after just, for basically 2 full movies. Getting the crap beat out of her and be covered in blood and I think even poop in the first one, maybe in the barn scene there's some or something. Yeah.
Definitely animal like carcass.
Yes, yeah. Just everything. I was like, I'm glad they finally glammed her up, let her look good in this.
Yeah.
Towards the end. But yeah, I think the relationship between Grace and Faith was probably one of the more interesting parts of the movie, and I think that relationship between 2 siblings who are in foster care is just something that like as they're talking about it in the movie, I'm like, yeah, I can't imagine being in either one of these roles and having to make, the decision to leave, and like if you're the older one making the decision to leave, and if you're the younger sister trying to understand that and deal with those emotions. And so I thought that was, a really good and interesting thing that just worked really well. And their relationship, it made sense. Their problems made sense. Their back and forth kind of like I know, like, I've been in, arguments with my siblings, and sometimes it goes like that, where it's like you feel like you're good, and then it comes back, and it's like, okay, no, we still have more stuff, like, we have to work through.
Yeah.
And I think that back and forth worked really well. I think that I enjoyed despite the fight scene not being my favorite, I did really enjoy the character of Grace's husband's ex-fiance being a part of all of this.
Her name is Francesca.
Yes, so like Francesca was so funny to me. Like she came out in the wedding dress and I was like dying laughing.
That was so funny.
And then she rolled up with the rocket launcher and shot it in the wrong direction, and like that made me laugh so hard, like, because I did not expect it.
Everyone in my theater laughed at that one. There were probably about 10 to 15 people in my theater, and everyone lost it because it's like, oh, and you knew it was not gonna hit our girl Grace, but it was like, oh, this would be terrifying to experience, to like stand eye to eye to someone and see this is a rocket launcher pointed right
Right.
at me.
Yeah.
And so, but the fact that it went the other direction was amazing. So good. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure what to expect. And so that happening was just great.
Yeah.
Lost it.
And I think that's another thing. I think this movie, when it wants to be funny, it is. Like, I think most of the funny moments worked and hit for me. It's like some of the other emotions I think they wanted me to feel didn't work, but I think like when it wanted to be funny, it was. And so, yeah, I think there's, like we talked about, this movie is fun. And despite maybe having some plot holes and stuff, like it's a good time. So, what about you? What did you like?
Yeah, I also really loved the sister relationship between Grace and Faith. I think I didn't grow up in foster, couldn't even imagine what it would be like to grow up in foster care.
Right.
I say I couldn't imagine. I have clients and have talked with enough people who have experienced that or have worked in the foster care system to know it's not a good time. Like it's really not. And so to be with your sister, whether you're the older or the younger one, and to navigate that, it's like, well, no matter what, I have this person with me, who will be here to support me, no matter what else is happening to us. And the sense of abandonment that Faith has, and the resentment she has.
Yeah.
After they've already been abandoned, right? We don't really know anything about. I don't recall hearing anything about their actual biological parents or like why they ended up in foster care. But because they're in foster care, they've been abandoned by their biological parents in some way.
Yeah.
And so that abandonment, and then the abandonment Faith felt from her sister Grace, like that runs deep, right? And that's. But as an older sibling, like I can understand and relate to the desire to like try to go out and do better for yourself so that you can bring your sibling along in some way. But it was interesting to see like they're trying to one up each other the whole time, which is such a sibling thing to do, right? It's like, Faith is like, well, I live in this really nice 1-bedroom apartment in New York, and I was thinking, that's not like, but in New York, it is a brag.
Right.
To not live in a studio. It is a brag.
Or to not have 5 roommates.
Right. Yeah. To have a 1-bedroom apartment and not have 15 roommates, that is a big deal. So, and then talking about her job as like a social media person, content creator or whatever. And then her boyfriend, Derek, who works in finance. And they're just like giving each other so much crap for like being with a guy who has money essentially.
Yeah.
And then you find out Derek was not real. Derek was not a real person. She made it up, which is really funny too. So, but yeah, I think that they had really good chemistry, and it seems like, are you guys actually siblings? Like, is that the case for you guys? And then same for, which is interesting to see the parallels between those two as siblings, but then also the parallels between Ursula and Titus as siblings, right? Like they're like, obviously there are other terrible rich people here and involved in this, but for sure Ursula and Titus are like the main bads in this. And so it's interesting to see how Grace and Faith are bickering at the beginning, but then as they get closer to the end of the movie, they are solid and together.
Right.
And the exact opposite is happening with Titus and Ursula, who are twins, who are in theory supposed to be like so tight and so close. And then we see Titus, again, spoiler alert, kill his sister Ursula because he felt threatened by her. And that sense of betrayal. Yeah. And so it was just interesting to see the parallels and kind of the foils that these two siblings are for each other, or sets of siblings are for each other. And so, I think I really thought that was interesting. Yeah.
It's kind of like seeing two people who recognize that there's an issue and trying to like and working through and figuring it out. and then two people who won't recognize that, like, they obviously have very deep issues that they need to fix and work out. And you kind of see, despite, like, in the beginning of the movie, it looks like Grace and Faith are, they're constantly fighting, they're leaving each other alone and doing all that. But at the end of the day, they, spoiler again, they end up, together and have, not fixed probably totally, but at least a little fixed their relationship. And the other siblings, one of them kills the other one. So it's
yeah. So yeah, it was interesting to see that process kind of unfold. And yeah, I think it is interesting that, Titus and Ursula were acting like everything's cool.
Yeah.
And even when she was like, when Faith had the gun pointed at or maybe it was, I don't remember which one of the sisters had the gun pointed at Ursula, and she was like, kill him, if you want to kill him, that's fine. That just means I have it all to myself. And they had a little tussle, and then the sisters took off, and he was like, you were gonna let them kill me, and she was like, I was just stalling for time. But that was the switch where I think it finally broke, and it's hinted at how he's crazy the whole time, that she has to like rein him in, and that was the thing that switched in his head of, oh, I'm gonna kill her. So yeah. What else stuck out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I like the ending of this movie too. I thought it was fun. I do think, her killing Titus was not a shock. They telegraphed it pretty blatantly, but I did really, I think, because at the end of the day, the most satisfying thing that can happen in this movie is all these horrible, rich devil worshippers dying. And that's what happened. So it's like, that was really fun. And I thought, I loved, super happy to see Grace win in the end. And I'm just hoping, there's not another group.
A bigger.
Like, oh, now she's killed all them. And now we can. The rulers of the universe are about to come.
Right. Yeah. Galactus comes into play somehow.
Yeah.
Grace is going to return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I do think you're right. I think that they definitely telegraph, because like they kept every time someone signed in the big scary book, they really very much emphasized the pin.
Yeah.
And how sharp it was, because they had to like sign in blood. And so it very much is like, hey, this is foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And so they made it very apparent, like he's gonna die. And you know what? He deserved to die.
Yeah, he did.
So, and they all deserve, because they were all terrible people. Even the, I don't remember what her name was, but the like big like bodyguard, because on one hand it's like she works for them, but also, you're going to work for these horrible people. But then she also, whenever Grace tosses the ring, that basically it's like, hey, if you're wearing this when the sun rises, you have all the power in the world.
Yeah.
You see the bodyguard also dive into the sacrificial pit to Satan, and they're all fighting over it. And so seeing them all explode, especially the cowardly brother who was like, I didn't die because I signed everything over, so I'm good. And then he dies, and that's just like, yeah. So I don't know how they would do a third one, and I don't want them to.
Yeah,
I don't think. Would I watch it? Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I don't even know what you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of whole wider organization is dead. I mean, we watched all of the cream of the crop of the devil worshippers. I think that's literally what they said in the movie. Was they're the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
They're all dead. They're all turned to mist. and they're chunky according to the guy sitting in front of me.
Terrible description.
Yeah, so bad.
So
But
yeah, maybe they went real big with the second one, and I realize you want to go bigger and better with a sequel, right? That makes sense. I get that, but I think it maybe would have been different if they had incorporated all of the like North American,
right,
members instead of the entire world.
yeah.
And so I don't know. But you know what? I would probably watch it if they came out with a third one, even if it's not necessarily very good.
Yeah.
So, because the directors, we haven't really talked about them. Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli Oakland. They both directed the first one, and I think they wrote the script for both of these movies. But they also have done the like most recent Scream films.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do the one that just came out this year. They didn't do Scream 7. They did 5 and 6. And I think that they had a plan for 7. They had something, kind of had them as a trilogy.
Yeah.
But when all the things happened with the Scream movies, they I think backed out of it.
Yeah. And they had I never saw it, but they also did Abigail too.
Yeah, I was about to say they did Abigail, and I was going to ask if you saw it. But I think Catherine Newton was in that too. So clearly they like working with Catherine Newton. So yeah, they've done a few horror-esque movies. So because they also did VHS.
Yeah,
and
they directed a segment for VHS.
Yeah.
They also directed a short called Mountain Devil Prank Fails Horribly. And then they have another short called Roommate Alien Prank Goes Bad. So
yeah. So I think
I gotta find those.
Yeah, please do and share them when you do.
Yeah.
Because it definitely seems that they like the sort of horror adjacent type of films, because I would say Ready or Not, both 1 and 2 are horror adjacent. Same for Scream 5 and 6. And I haven't seen Abigail, so I can't. The Abigail looks more like a horror, but I would guess it's also probably got some comedic moments in it too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I have liked their movies, and I'm interested to see what they're doing next. Let's see if it has anything. Oh, they are directing a TV show with Taylor Lautner called Werewolf Hunters. Werewolf Hunter. It looks like it's a documentary. And then that's really interesting. They're also it's a pre-production for an untitled they're doing the 4th Mummy movie.
Oh, interesting.
With Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. So that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be.
Which again falls into that same sort of, I think, horror adjacent kind of genre that they've seemed to kind of carved out for themselves.
Now I'm falling down the Untitled Mummy Project rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The guy who's writing it, I'm not given much hope for this movie.
Oh no, who's writing it?
His name is David Coggeshall maybe. He's written 2 things that are above a 5. Or no, there's a few, I guess. But
The Deliverance, was that the one with Sydney Sweeney?
No, I think you're thinking of I can't remember now.
Ooh.
Not the movie where she's a nun, though. That's not this.
No. Oh, he was a writer on the Scream TV show. I haven't watched it since college, but I enjoyed watching that in college. So
okay, I've never watched that. It also looks like he was a writer on the Lore TV show, which I never watched that, but I used to listen to the Lore podcast like so much.
I listened to the Lore podcast.
I used to love it.
I haven't thought about that in years.
Me either.
Wow.
I'll have to go back now and listen to Mr. Aaron Mahnke serenade me.
Yeah. because those were like kind of spooky, but not super scary.
Yeah, it was about like more like like folklore and stuff,
Folklore,
and like
yeah, which I
there was
really
some
liked.
scary, like maybe some scarier stories on there, but it's not like a
Mm-hmm.
scary podcast,
Yeah, yeah,
The
I
show
really
looks
liked
kind of
it.
spooky,
So,
very spooky though.
yeah, I feel like this show looked spooky. I think it was on Prime.
Yeah, yeah,
So, all right. Well, we're at like 55 minutes. Do you
yeah.
have any other thoughts on this movie?
I don't. No, I
Anything
don't think
else?
so. I think again, like we've said a few times, it's a fun movie. If you like the first one, you should watch this one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think this is it for Ready or Not. I think
Mm-hmm.
that we're not gonna see another one. And I'm so curious as to why they moved this movie up, because if you guys remember from our planning episode last,
Uh-huh.
we were going to watch Ready. We were going to talk about Ready or Not in October, and then we were going to watch Ready or Not 2 because it was originally supposed to come out in October, and they
Mm-hmm.
moved it up for some reason. So now we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to find two. We're gonna be able in October to put two different movies in there. So we've got two open spots.
Yeah. Which we'll figure it out. We'll
We'll
get
figure
there.
it out. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
probably do something a little spooky.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we have to. It's Halloween or it's
We
October.
we do. We do.
So,
Uh, yeah, but
oh,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited for drama next week. I think this is
man,
going to be a super interesting movie. And yeah, I think I saw someone say something that I totally agree with, and they've said that Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are a great example of how to market a
yes.
movie with people who are in a relationship in the movie, but not make them
Mm-hmm.
act like they're in love with each other while
Right.
doing all
Yeah.
the press. And I'm like,
Yes.
yes, this is so
Yes.
true. Like they have good chemistry, but it's not like,
Right.
oh, these
Yeah.
people are in love with each other and want to cheat on their partners with each other. No,
On
it's
their
like,
partner. They're very well known partners.
yes, exactly. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
these people like each other and have good chemistry. Like, that's
Yes.
all we
Yeah.
need to see.
Right. Man, I am excited to see the drama. I think that maybe this is a conversation for another time. I don't know if we need to get into it with the last few minutes, but I was having a conversation the other day with some friends at dinner where we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about like who are modern day movie stars, and I think
Yeah,
Zendaya it needs to be in that conversation.
for sure.
And I feel like Robert Pattinson's done a lot of indie stuff, and so
Yeah,
mainstream wise, maybe not, but like obviously Twilight and the Batman. But I think outside of those movies, not a lot of people have seen other things like The Lighthouse
yeah.
or Good Times or whatever
He
else.
was in
And
Tenet
so,
too, which
oh
is
yeah,
huge.
Tenet. But also Tenet. While that's a Nolan movie, it
Yeah,
kind of I feel like got overlooked because it came out around the time of the
yeah,
pandemic, and so I feel like a lot of people overlook that, even though it was a freaking trip of a movie, and
yeah.
he's good in it too.
Right.
Um, but I think he has one of the best acting resumes of like more recent movie
Oh,
stars.
for sure.
So,
He he is on my list now of like, if he is in the movie, I will watch the
hmm
movie. Like, it doesn't
I
matter who the
yeah,
director is. It doesn't matter what it's about. If it doesn't sound
hmm
interesting to me, I'm like, Robert Pattinson is in it. I will watch it because like that. I know at least there's going to be one good performance because
hmm
he is good. Even in like what's that Netflix movie he's in? The Devil All the Time. Even that
oh
movie where it's
yeah,
like he's so
yes,
like his performance is so weird and strange,
yes,
but like it still is
yes,
good. It's like, yeah, and that movie is not that great, but it's like
hmm
he is still so magnetic
yeah.
and interesting in it that I'll watch anything with him at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I liked that movie, but I don't think it's like incredible, like the best movie
Yeah.
ever by any means. Liked I loved his performance in it though.
Yeah.
That is a really specific southern accent, but
Yeah, the
there's at least one person who talks like that. That is
yeah.
just like, where did you come from? You are
Right.
from the South, but like, where did you
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah.
So
We watched it in college and we would get the demons like go
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. So I know we'll talk about it when we get to that movie too, but the voice, whatever freaky voice he's gonna do in Dune Part 3, I can't wait. It's gonna be insane.
Incredible.
I can't. Part of me wonders if they're like not gonna release any clips of his character talking in any future trailers for Dune, just so like when we watch it for the first time and he opens his mouth, it's gonna be the most unhinged and insane voice.
I would guess they're gonna do that because I don't know yet. I'm reading Dune right now, and I want to read Messiah before watching Part 3. But I think he's supposed to be a part of like this group that are like they're supposed to be like genetically like perfect or something, which is funny because of the way he looks. Like in the trailer, is so insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure he's going to have like something really crazy and weird. Maybe he'll just do his voice from Boy and the Heron. He'll dust
I had
it
that
off
thought too. I had that thought too because that voice is insane.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we can save our glaze for Robert Pattinson and Zendaya for next week when we talk about the drama, and also when we talk about the Odyssey, Spider-Man, and Dune.
You know, we've got 2 weeks in a row of people who have like 5 movies coming out this year because we have the drama next week, and then we have Mother Mary, which has Anne Hathaway, who I feel like is in every trailer that I see for this year. It's crazy. I hope she's taking a break soon. Like, please stop.
I would guess she probably is, especially because she has kids, and it seems like she's like really prioritized her family.
Yeah.
As you know, a working actress, and so who's also a mother, and so like I bet she's got a break. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her in anything for like 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because she has, 4 movies coming out this year?
I think it's 5.
Gosh, that's so crazy. And
Zendaya I think I looked the other day, and I think it's 5. I think Zendaya has 4.
Man. And they're 4, like, or like 2 of them are like mega blockbuster, like, going to make, like, both might make $1 billion type of movie.
Right. Yeah. So what a year for Zendaya and Anne Hathaway. Hey, let's give it up for them. Let's give it up
for them and women. Let's give it up for them.
Let's give it up for women everywhere, right? Let me do
man doing that. Ain't no man.
Yeah, no man doing that. So, is it gonna do the clap? Why is it not doing the clap?
Sexist. Riverside.
Sexist. Yeah. Okay. Well. Let's go ahead and land this plane then.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on whatever platform that you're currently listening. Then go to all the other ones and also rate, review, and subscribe. Unless you're not giving it 5 stars, then don't do it. But you can still subscribe. Thank you to Walter Lyle for producing this episode. Our art is by Sean Cohen. Our music is by Corden Jacques. As we said, our next episode is about the drama, and we will see you guys next week.